nightmare, to be honest. I was in care by 10, and my first custodial centre was a detention centre at the age of 14, at my 15th birthday in prison, and straight out of there into care again.
I was working in the city as a finance manager in a consultancy. I had a fantastic job, I was doing really well.
My time spent in care and things like that didn't give me the moral compass that was, you know, consistent with society. I didn't have to conform to the rules.
My uncle's a judge. I've got a brother that's in the Met Police, very high up, funny enough, in the gangs unit.
It starts off with a knockdown ginger, then goes on to stealing sweets from shops, and then as you get older and you want bigger things, it goes on to robberies, and a common one for me was selling drugs.
I noticed a change when certain boys came onto the estate. Police came to my house at 6 o'clock in the morning, told me that Christian had been in some sort of burglary and he's in a lot of trouble.
I was on the peripheral of high-scale, really, you know, serious organised crime. It hit the papers. My parents are still ill now from it. I'm serving a sentence. It's 12 years.
I loved him, but I hated him for what he did, especially, I always said it from the beginning, I hate what he's done to them victims.
It's because somebody phoned me and said, there's a job online, but you have to be an ex-offender to apply. And I was saying, no, that's you. I think you've read it wrong. It says you mustn't be an ex-offender. Applied, got the job, and now it's like four years later.
I wanted to be in this guy's position. I looked up to him. I thought, if you can do it, I can do it as well. And that was like the first sort of encouragement, give me some sort of aspirations whilst I was in there.
St Giles are there, and they bridge that gap between going into custody and getting released, preparing you for release, giving you some skills, life skills, qualifications, and bridging that gap post-release.
Where do you go? Biggest fear is where do you actually get on a train and go to once you get released from prison?
You need a stable accommodation to then get a job or to get into college. Or if you can't get your foot on the first block,
it's just so easy to fall back into that crime role again.
I can't get a bank account. I can't get a mobile phone contract, and, you know, I'm trying to move on with my life. It's not something you can just leave behind. It all follows you.
If we take one person and we do whatever it is, we make sure they have stable housing, we get them a trade, train them up, and they get into employment. You start saving the taxpayer the £120,000 per year to keep that person in custody.
Trying to get jobs on interview days, yeah. Like, you will write in application forms, and when they say you've got any criminal convictions, you have to declare them.
We can look at some sort of education, training or employment, building on their CVs. They're getting continuous mentoring, advice and guidance from us as well.
Without the intervention of St Giles and the employment I've got now, I can't imagine what it would have been like.
You have the ripple effect, because not only have you turned that one person's life, you've got his immediate family who are not now traumatised by what activities that person's doing. You've got all the victims and then their families that are no longer victims of crime, and people that have to be in fear of crime, and then it just widens out.
How you doing? All right. Elroy, he's a diamond geezer. With the other probation officers, I feel intimidated, like, I can't say certain things, but with him I can actually be myself and all that.
Sebastian is a priority prolific offender, so, you know, someone high-end. He's just got a job, full-time employment. It's the first job he's ever had in his life.
If Elroy wasn't there for me, I reckon I'd be back in prison, to be honest with you, because he is a very good influence. He keeps you on a straight and narrow.
It's a serious business, turning someone's life around. Ideally, we want to work with people for a minimum of 3 years.
It only seems like yesterday that I was on the streets doing whatever I was doing. And now I'm here in a good place, a nice environment. I mean, I'm working with some lovely people. It's just all good. It's all good right now. It's all good. I'm in a happy place. I'm in a happy place, really, I am.
There is no money, there is no, you know, bonuses or benefits that can make up for You know, seeing that closed off person and working with that person and encouraging them to reach out and you know, contribute to life. There's no money that can reward that. It's almost magical.
It's only now all the good work is done that I can now call his name at work. I never used to talk about him at work. I used to talk at work like I only had one son.
Nobody is beyond help. Nobody.
Being part of helping 15,000 people a year, whether that be meeting them at the gates, helping them get housed, finding them a job, it's things like that that makes me proud of working for St Giles.
Our way of tackling the rising victims and the rising crime is to go to the offender and change him so he stops offending. That will stop the victims, that will stop the cycle.